Alright, thought I was done with videos for the day, but Sarahan, the dirty hippie, has provided more reason to video. He's done a big, giant, floppy flip-flop, and, is trying to back out of his previous video, trying to clean things up, trying to pretty it up, because he smells like puke, and he's trying to wash it off. But it don't work, because he reveals himself for what he is. And so here's some more stuff for him to chew on.
Fella, in my time here on YouTube, I've dealt with some real fucking morons. Oh yes, but you've never really been one of them. No, never. Like you said about me in your video. Sarahan, you're always so wise. I don't understand how you can say this.
Yeah, right. You're both idiots. At least Bella gets the animal thing almost right. But yeah, you get pretty much nothing right.
Yada, yada, yada. Well, Bella, it's called honesty. Now, in my last video, I say, I am better than a cow, right?
No, what you say is, fuck the animals. That's what the video is titled. Fuck the animals. Alright, so now we're going to hear what you're going to say about fucking the animals.
So now Inmendham wants to cow me up. Can we just cow you? It was a funny video. I liked it. I enjoyed both of them immensely. But you both missed the fuck.
Yeah, well, no, so that's part of the problem. You enjoy this. And, the rest of us can't enjoy it because we respect and appreciate what happens because of these kind of conversations. If you want to sit there and completely change your rhetoric now, well, what if you should have changed it in your last video? You should have changed it in the title of your last video.
Point. Horribly. I mean, it's like it went right over your fucking heads at 190
Fuck the animals.
Goddamn miles per hour, and you didn't even fucking notice it.
Fuck the animals.
If I'm saying that I value human life above other life,
what you're saying is completely irrelevant to this subject then, because it's not about humans versus the animals. It's about a human preference for a food variety versus the animals. It's I like potato chips versus the animals. That's what this is about. This is not human survival versus animal survival or animal welfare. This is not anything. This is an archaic human behavioral aberration. That's what we're talking about here. Something completely unnecessary, something inbred to dopey little people, alright, that is completely unnecessary, completely economically inefficient, and that has this cost tied to it. That's what you were defending in your last video, asshole.
You can't really throw those kinds of comparisons at me because I've already covered it. It's a stupid fucking argument to say, well, why don't we just kill people? Why don't we cow you? You fucking... Come on.
Yeah, come on. That's exactly the argument, though. When you're pointing out to a bigot why their bigotry is silly, you just turn the situation around on them and say, well, what if there was a white race? It's a very... it's a logical technique. It's called logic. It's reasoning. It's rationality. When you're trying to get through to an imbecile, you point out the hypocrisy in their fundamental premise. And there's this grotesque hypocrisy in your fundamental premise.
You can't do that. I've already said that I value human life above other forms of life. Because I'm a fucking human.
Well, if that's the only reason, like I said, there should be some logical integrity to that. But the bottom line is still isn't about human life versus animal life.
Now. Oh, yeah, and by the way, concerning Karina, I don't want to yell at Karina. If you guys were fucking paying attention, I mean, were you paying attention at all? Bella, I love you too. I really do. But were you paying attention? I mean, had you been paying attention, you would...
Well, what did you see when you saw Karina's video then? What were you watching? Because apparently you didn't even understand the concept that she was talking about, the exploitation of animals for a selfish human indulgence. You didn't get the theme of the fucking video?
You would know that Karina didn't say anything in her video that I fucking disagreed with. Not at all. So that's why I'm not going to argue with Karina. There's nothing to argue about. I mean, I say that I value human life above other forms of life, and suddenly I advocate cruelty.
Yeah, so what you're saying, though, is this idiotic. Like I said, your life is not dependent on the consumption of other animals. It's not. It's not in any way dependent on that. Okay? Sentient creatures. So you have no fucking argument. Like I said, then what have you done to the core of her video? Why don't you just say her video was about couches and lying on couches? And then you could argue with lying on couches. But you're not arguing what was in her fucking goddamn video.
Torture. I advocate murder because I say that a human being can plan out a murder strategically. That's just stating a fucking fact. Okay? It's a fact. Human beings can plot violent activity. I don't recall saying that makes violent activity or violence against another person okay. Now, as far as...
Well, I don't know how you can separate those two things. If you're saying it's part of our sophistication and we can do it, what does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. We can do it, and you stop the sentence at we can do it, and you don't add the rest of the words that would be, well, but it would be completely fucktard and idiotic to do those kind of things. You didn't put the rest of the sentence in. So how can anybody take your statements as they lie, and especially in this context of this fucking argument, when you're wallowing in your tastifying, in your tastifying about how splendorific the animal flesh is.
As far as cruelty is concerned, and my advocation of cruelty and torturing animals and wherever the fuck that came from, I don't know.
It came from the fact that you have demonstrated absolutely no appreciation for it. That's where it came from. I mean, you're gonna well, whatever. I mean, we could take a poll of everybody who watched your video and see whether or not they could get the idea that you didn't give a shit.
Disturbing. I don't enjoy that. I don't fucking get off because animals are being tortured and slaughtered. Okay? And Inmendham, and you know, I've got a really big fucking scarecrow in my room right now. It's not a straw man, it's a goddamn scarecrow. And what's worse is Inmendham did...
Well, no, you're the one with the straw man argument. Your straw man argument is that when people are discussing animal rights and vegetarianism, what they're really talking about is some fight to the death between humanity and animal kind. That's the ultimate straw man. That's what you turned it into. Then you straw manned it with bullshit about, you know, the only reason why people care about animals is because they're human-like. You know, because they can tell good racial jokes or something. That's the only reason why we care. We only care about the animals that have good racial jokes. You know, the rest of them we couldn't give a damn about because we're just huge hypocrites. All of us. The whole class of people defending rational human behavior. Yeah, you just painted us with the same fucking straw brush, you fucker.
Did it while playing my video. I mean, listening to the words coming out of my fucking mouth and then assuming all sorts of shit. Like, you know, if you wouldn't pay for animals to be killed in a more humane way, you don't want to foot the bill, you selfish prick. Fuck you, asshole. I'll have you know, I would gladly pay for it.
Now, see, that was something you should have put in the video, because then instead of the people commenting the way they commented, you would have had exactly the opposite reaction, because then all your friends all of a sudden would become your enemies. Because they say, what do you mean, we got to pay 5 times more for our meat because you fucker thinks we got to care about the animals? And again, you're gonna well, I'll just argue the point. But I mean, this isn't about just life and death for animals. It's about how they live and why they live. All right, there's something grotesque in creating a thing called the domesticated cow now, okay? Because it's this animal with its udders dragging on the fucking ground. We've turned it into a milk processing machine. All right, we have not valued the animal. We have not valued its dignity. We have not appreciated its life in any way. There's no way we can reclamate that animal. All right, it's a Frankenstein, and we created it to satisfy an indulgence, not to make sure we survive, to satisfy an indulgence.